Happy first day of school! Or good afternoon, everybody, good morning, whatever. Welcome to your first day of online English class. I'm going to walk you through what we're going to be using so that you're comfortable, you're confident in our new online classroom, okay? So hang on, hold tight, and we're going to go through this together. I've taken a bunch of screenshots of things of how it's going to look for you on the iPad, so that's a little bit more familiar for you. If you are using this on like a desktop computer, I can help you with that as well. Should be pretty easy, and I know a lot of the other teachers are going to be making these tutorial videos from a desktop perspective also. So either way, we're here to help you out. I miss you a lot. It's super empty and boring in here, a little lonely, and who knows, maybe some of these backgrounds will change if we need to go home, so you might get a tour of my house. We shall see. All right, let's take a look at what we're going to be using, okay? So I made a little PowerPoint here for you. We'll go through to look at the screenshots of everything together. All right, welcome. There we go. All right, obviously we're going to be using Microsoft Teams, right, for all of our classes, which is great because we've already been using it a little bit this year, so it shouldn't be anything too scary or too new, but there are a few little new things I want to show you. All right, so first thing is when you open up Teams, right, you're going to see all of your classes here on the side. When you click on a class, right, like here's an example class I made. If you click on a class, you're going to see all these options are going to drop down. We're calling these channels, okay? It's going to be very important for all of your classes. So here's all the channels that we're going to have for our class. Before we get too far, we're going to start just right here in the General tab, all right? Within the General tab, you're going to see options for files, which we'll look at in a moment. Posts, which you really don't need to look at the posts because it's literally going to be everything. Like Mrs. Girling added this, Mrs. Girling did this, somebody did that. So it's going to be too much. So don't worry about the posts page, all right? On the files side is what we're going to look at right now with some expectations for how is this whole online school thing going to look. All right, so let's take a look at that together. So here's our online learning expectations for all of us, okay? We are obviously switching, not meeting in person in the classroom anymore. But I'm definitely going to be helping you out as much as I can and answering my emails and messages on Teams. We'll get into all that in a moment, all right? There will be 2 different times where you can contact me throughout the week on Tuesdays and on Thursdays if you want to have like a little FaceTime kind of meeting through Teams, which I'll show you how we can do that, which would be awesome, okay? Very important are some rules, right? Because just like when you're here in the classroom, we have rules. When you are at home on your own device, there are a few rules to pay attention to, all right? First thing is just treat it like you're here at school, right? Follow the same expectations that you would when you are here in the classroom. All right, avoiding any distracting activity. Obviously, don't be like in your car or something. You should be maybe at a desk or at your kitchen table, somewhere that is a good learning environment for you. You should never be turning on your webcam unless I have asked you to do so or I've turned it on for you. All right. With that, for English class, you do not need your phone. All right, everything that you can be doing, you can do on your iPad or your computer. You won't need your phone for any of those features, so no phones allowed, okay? And another thing, when we are meeting, right, most of these rules are going to apply for those Wednesday class meeting days when we are meeting live in person, right? So it's not as distracting for everybody around us. So these are live rules. Like I'm using right now, you want to use some headphones that have like a microphone, good earbuds, so you're not getting feedback or other weird noises from things going on around you. All right. When we have our Wednesday in-class real-time live classes, make sure you show up on time and that you're there ready to go. Your device should be charged, ready to go, just like class. All right. You can read through the last couple things of these. Easy. Basically, guys, treat it like school, right? This is school, it's just happening at home now. Finally, last 2 things. When we meet together on those Wednesday live lesson days, it's just going to be half an hour, 30 minutes, so like a regular Wednesday schedule. You do need to be in your school uniform. All right, so make sure that is happening so that it's like a regular school day again, okay? Now, how about behavior? What are some of the do's and don'ts of things that we should or should not be doing? All right, so this is going to be in that files page, right, that we were just looking at in your files. So the first one is what we just talked about, the online learning expectations. The next one right now that we're looking at is discussion board guidelines. So we're going to have some opportunities to write to each other and post, right? Just like you would on social media. So keep some of these things in mind when you are writing a post, right? First one, think. Think before you post, right? Make sure that you know what you're talking about before you just make something up. Make sure you do the posts on time so people can have time to reply and answer back to what you're saying. That's fine if you want to give your opinion, but then make sure you're proving it and explaining it, right, from the text or other examples to help everybody else understand what you're saying. A big one is being careful that the things that you say in typing or in text are going to sound a lot different than if you say it in person to someone. So make sure that you keep that in mind. Avoid making like jokes or humor or sarcasm because that's not going to communicate as clearly when you are typing. All right. You can look at the rest of these yourself. Basically, just some good common sense, guys. Okay? You can do it. Pretty easy stuff. The last thing I want to show you is a rubric. All right, for our discussion posts and also for our live learning days, we're going to have a few expectations that we want you to follow. But these expectations are for when you are posting about something, right? You want it to be relevant to what we're talking about. You want to give good evidence from the text or whatever you're referencing. You want to make sure that you're using good writing, right? Even though this is online, we're not using any texting or shorthand or things like that. You want it to be educational. You want it to be academic. You want it to be growing your brain, not just simplifying everything. All right, so it's regular school. Do what you would normally do in class, right? When you're writing things, complete sentences, good grammar, checking your work before you turn it in, all those normal things. All right. So again, all of those things are in that Files tab on your Teams account, okay? So when you go to that General tab and you have your files, that's what you're going to be seeing, okay? So General tab, Files, sorry, it skipped ahead. Files, here's everything we just talked about, all right? Okay. That's great, Ms. Gerling, but how is this actually going to work? Okay, so one last little thing, which you probably already know, right here also still in general, under more, it's going to show you all the different like apps and things that we're going to be using. So if you click on Class Notebook, it's going to open it up in OneNote for you. If you click on Flipgrid, if we do something with that, it's going to open it up in the Flipgrid app for you. So if an assignment asks you to use one of those apps, I'll usually include the link, but you can also access it here or obviously just the other apps on your iPad. Okay? All right. Let's talk about all these channels and how is school actually going to really work. Okay? So if you go to the very first channel, the week of March 16th through 20th, right? This week, you'll see a welcome message and say, welcome back to school. Yay, here we go. Each week's channel is going to have the lessons, the assignments, the videos, whatever. It's all going to be right here for you in that channel. So it's all organized. You don't have to do any switching back and forth between your lessons and the videos and things like that. Okay, super nice. Down here at the bottom, we have another channel. All right, that's called discussion and response. Because we like to do this in our English class, right? Discussing, what did you think? What was your opinion? How did you notice what the author was doing? Okay, we're going to have sometimes where you're going to be posting to a discussion. Again, this is an academic space, right? That's what it says right here. This is an academic space. So make sure you're following some of those do's and don'ts we just talked about, right? Of using good writing, not being sarcastic or making jokes, making sure you're proving it with quotes and evidence from the text. You will be able to like reply to each other and have a discussion together. So if you'd like, for fun today, you can try this out. All right, please don't abuse it, right? Like we looked in our online learning expectations. There are consequences if we're not going to be respectful and following the rules of using this as a tool, right? Academic tool. And the very last channel is a meeting space, okay? So if you want my help or you want a little video conference chat or whatever, we can have a little like face-to-face. If you have questions or like, oh, I don't remember, where do I turn this in? Or how do I do this assignment? You can post those questions or those requests to meet in this meeting space channel. All right, the other channels are locked. It's just for our lessons and content, so you're not going to be able to post, ask questions or replies or things like that. All right, the only ones you can do that in are the discussions, if I've posted a discussion for us, or in the meeting space if you have a question that you want to ask. Finally, you already know this tab because we've used this a lot, the assignments tab. It will let you choose what class you are going to be looking for your assignments for. So if you click on our class, then you're going to see you have a little welcome assignment. Don't worry, it's super easy. It'll take you like a minute, okay? So here's our first assignment for the fourth quarter. I thought it'd be super fun. It's not tied to any grades or anything, but just fun if we did a little read aloud together each day. So each day I've figured out yet, but I'm going to be going live to read you a book. All right, so this first assignment is graded because I want you to try this out. I want you to do it, but you're just going to click on this form and you're going to vote for what book you want to read for the fourth quarter. Okay? All right, so there we go. We are ready for our first day of class, you guys. Oh my goodness. I miss you guys. Praying for you all a lot, and I know we're going to be okay, and hopefully we'll be back here sometime soon. And may God bless you and keep you. And if you have any questions, you can post them in our teams, or you can email me, of course, and I will see you soon.